Welcome to the EPL and UCL talks.
And if you thought you had to wait until May for the real edge-of-your-seat drama, well, Tuesday night had other ideas. We have to just jump straight into it.
We really do. The 9-goal monster of a game. Fulham 4, Manchester City 5.
It was just unbelievable.
And chaos is really the only word for it. It perfectly sets up this paradox we're going to dive into today, because City won, they got the 3 points, but the feeling, it's just one of pure panic, isn't it?
It is. How can one team, in the same 90 minutes, look like an unstoppable juggernaut?
And then at the first sign of trouble, just crumble into this fragile glass cannon.
That's the mission. We have to unpack that duality for you. Yeah. We'll look at the incredible record-breaking attack, and then we have to contrast it with that alarming defensive collapse.
And try to tie it back to some of the bigger issues, the squad, the system, all of it.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's do the juggernaut part first, because for about an hour, City looked, terrifyingly good. And it was a huge night for one player in particular.
Oh, a monumental night for Erling Haaland. And it's a shame, really, because the madness of the last half hour completely overshadowed what should have been the headline story.
Which was his 100th Premier League goal.
His 100th goal, yeah. But it's the context that's just legendary. He did it in only 111 games.
111.
Which is 13 games fewer than Alan Shearer, the previous record holder. Just think about that for a second. Shearer's record felt untouchable for decades.
And Haaland has just blown past it. It's redefining what's possible. And he came into this game on a 3-game mini drought, which is just a normal stretch for anyone else.
Right, and he just instantly ends that conversation. But it wasn't just him. The whole attack was so clinical.
The efficiency was off the charts.
It was. Their first 4 goals came from their first 4 shots on target. That's just peak dominance. You can't be more ruthless than that.
And Phil Foden was on fire again, too. He scored his 3rd and 4th goals in just the last 2 matches.
Devastating form. And you have to mention Tijani Reinders. His finish for that 2nd goal was just delicious. It showed the quality they have all over the pitch when things are clicking.
And boy, were they clicking. By the 54th minute, an own goal makes it 5-1.
5-1. At that point, the game is over. It should be. Yeah. Especially against Fulham, a team they'd beaten 18 times in a row.
Yeah.
You just, you put the kettle on.
Exactly. And that 5-1 scoreline is the perfect pivot point, because that's when the analysis flips from celebration to just high alert. How do you go from that to barely surviving?
And this is where it gets absolutely fascinating, or, well, terrifying if you're a City fan. The collapse was so sudden.
It started with Iwobi, right?
Yeah, Alex Iwobi scores, and then the substitute, Samuel Chukwueze,
yeah,
he scores 2 goals in 6 minutes.
A brace in 6 minutes, just like that.
And suddenly the stadium believes. Fulham goes from being humiliated to thinking, wait a minute, we can actually get something here. We could end this awful losing streak against them.
And the moment that summed it all up wasn't even a goal, was it?
No, it was that last-second clearance. Šelsko Gvardiol scrambling on his own goal line in the 97th minute to stop it from being 5-5.
Wow.
That image alone tells you everything. Guardiola said afterwards the end was purely a question of survival. When do you ever hear that from a team that was 5-1 up?
And when you look at the bigger picture, the stats, the alarm bells are just screaming. 16 goals conceded in 14 matches.
Now, hold that number up against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal have let in 7 goals in 13 matches.
So less than half.
More than double the goals conceded.
Yeah.
That is simply not the foundation of a title-winning team. It doesn't matter how many you score if you're that porous at the back.
Okay, so let's get into the why. What is going wrong? We know they press high, they control the ball. But when that first line is broken, what happens? What did Guardiola say?
He gave a really interesting tactical insight, something you almost never hear about a Pep team. He said, and I'm quoting, "All the goals was in the edge. We didn't have players there to defend in that position."
On the edge, so right around the D, the edge of the box, where Iwobi and Chukwueze were finding all that space.
Exactly. So the problem isn't the high press itself. It's what happens when the high press fails.
Yeah.
He said the team got anxious and went so deep to defend, they pull everyone back towards the penalty spot.
Right, and that's a key distinction, isn't it? Because falling back isn't necessarily bad, but how you fall back is everything.
Precisely. Effective deep defending isn't just running toward your own goal. It has to have the same organization, the same principles of pressure as the high press. It's about controlling space.
But they didn't do that.
No, they collapsed. It was a panicked retreat. They lost all their shape, all their discipline. Players were just pulled back like a magnet to the goal, leaving huge gaps at the edge of the box.
So the whole defensive system is built for offense, essentially. It's designed to apply pressure high up the pitch, and when that fails, the emergency brake just isn't there. It's just a disorganized mess.
That's the tactical flaw in a nutshell. They haven't mastered how to apply those pressing principles right on their own defensive line. The anxiety kicks in, and they abandon the system.
Which makes you wonder if it's purely tactical or if it's about the players. Which ones don't fully get it yet? Which brings us to rotation and all the new faces.
And the manager connected those dots himself. He explicitly said this whole situation is a question of growing.
Because of the turnover.
Massive turnover. He said they've changed 7 to 9 players in the last 1 or 2 transfer windows. For a team built on this, like telepathic understanding,
Yeah.
that's a huge disruption.
It really is. Bringing in talent is one thing, but getting them wired into that complex system takes time. And you look at the bench, Turkey, Savinho, Matheus Nunes, even Omar Marmoush was an unused sub. The talent is there.
The talent is there, but the trust and the cohesion, they're not, at least not yet. So until those players can slot in seamlessly, the team is going to have these moments where they just lose control of the game, even when they're miles ahead.
And all of this just makes the title race so much more interesting. They're 2 points behind Arsenal now, and Arsenal have a game in hand.
It's getting tight, and Guardiola knows it. He said the race is so long, and the team has to control better situations. I mean, you think.
You think. And their next test is a really tricky one, Sunderland at home.
Yeah, and this is not your typical newly promoted side. Sunderland are good. They're sitting in 6th place.
And they've already taken points off the big teams. They beat Chelsea, drew with Arsenal and Liverpool. They are not afraid of anyone.
Not at all. They are organized, lightning fast on the counterattack.
Yeah.
They're basically designed to exploit the very weakness we've just been talking about.
So the rotation dilemma is huge. He needs to rest players for Real Madrid. But can he risk it against a dangerous Sunderland team, especially after the Fulham scare and the Leverkusen loss?
It's a massive headache for him. He has to balance freshness from Madrid with the absolute need for stability in the league. Everyone expects City to win, sure, but everyone also expects Sunderland to score.
It really sets up this fascinating psychological question for the rest of the season. If your team scores 5 goals, but you walk off the pitch thinking, wow, we got away with that one, what does that say about the mental strength you need to sustain a title run? Especially when your main rival, Arsenal, is built on the complete opposite. They're built on defensive steel and just minimizing chaos.
It suggests that, titles aren't always won by the team that can score the most goals. They're often won by the team that makes the fewest catastrophic mistakes. And right now, City's potential for catastrophe feels terrifyingly high. They have a huge problem to solve, and they have to solve it fast.
That is definitely something to keep an eye on as the games come thick and fast. Thank you so much for joining us and helping us break all of that down today. We really, really appreciate you spending your time with us, letting us guide you through this wild and wonderful league, and sharing our obsession with all the stories unfolding week in, week out. We'll catch you next time when we're back to figure out what new madness has taken over the world of football.
Until then, take care and enjoy the games.